Brad, let me ask you, when someone comes to you as a CPA with a non-filing situation, tell us briefly how you go about trying to address their situation and cure that, if that's the right word.
Right. So first and foremost, we get a power of attorney on the taxpayer. We pull IRS transcripts to determine what, if any, 1099s are available to the IRS. We pull count transcripts to see what their filing history really is, because sometimes taxpayers don't remember the last time they filed. So we start there, and we typically file within the last 6 years. So if they haven't filed for 10 years, we file 6 years of tax returns with the IRS, and potentially less with Georgia through a voluntary disclosure program.
Why is it that you would only file for 6 if, in your example, they hadn't filed a return in 10? Is there some magic to that?
So typically 6 years. If you file 6 years, the IRS will ignore prior years unless there's foul play involved.
Okay, so you sort of get, I won't say a pass, but perhaps something like a pass if you filed for 6 years, but beyond that, perhaps you didn't file as well.
Exactly.
I'll jump in on that. I'll jump in on that, Robert. The actual law says that there's no statute of limitations, and if you didn't file in 25 years, you're supposed to file in 25 years prior returns, and that doesn't matter if it's income tax returns, payroll tax returns, or any other kind of tax returns. But the Internal Revenue Service has kind of like an internal Bible. It's called the Internal Revenue Manual. And the manual is what all of the employees of the Internal Revenue Service go by. And it has a section in there that basically says, just like Brad said, unless there's some reason, foul play, fraud, or some other type of reason, if you can secure the last 6 years worth of returns, that's sufficient. And yes, the taxpayer will get a pass for the rest of them. And Brad also, just to highlight this, mentioned the voluntary disclosure program that the Georgia Department of Revenue offers, and we've been very successful, the three of us as a team, in many, many, many cases, to be able to limit the filing of the returns to 3 years. And don't take that like every single guy is only going to file the last 3 years of returns, because it depends, and it's a negotiation. But I'd say, and Brad and Amy, you're in the trenches more on this one, but probably in most cases with the voluntary disclosure, the Georgia Department of Revenue probably only goes back, say, 5 years.